Well, good morning. I think the first thing I'd say is that the party is clearly veering to the right. We're not seeing any serious pushback to the political agenda that emerged under Boris Johnson. Everybody's in a race to pledge those tax cuts. Everybody's in a race to shore up their Brexit credentials. Everybody's in a race to bash what they call illiberal, woke, progressive politics. So what we're seeing, if we step back, is a continuing realignment of the Conservative Party, similar to what we've seen in the US, but we're seeing the party actually change shape.
That's really interesting, Matthew, that the first thing you said there was it's tacking to the right from the party, and you see it, of course, from all the usual candidates, such as Priti Patel, Braverman, and again, a whole bevy of chancellors and ex-chancellors. I think we're 3 at the last count as well. But what about the taxation side of things as well? It's very unconservative, well, certainly very un-early Thatcher rather than late Thatcher, to talk about all these unfunded tax cuts as well. It's interesting that they think they can gain political sway with their colleagues and potentially with the country eventually by talking about tax cuts rather than fiscal conservatism.
Yeah, and I think this is absolutely the million-dollar point. Look, I mean, we all know the challenges that are facing the UK. We know that we've got sluggish growth, low productivity, rampant inflation. We are on the cusp of the most difficult winter this country has had since the 1970s, energy prices rocketing. Everyone who's watching this show, who tunes into your analysis, knows the bigger story. We've yet to even come close to getting into that in this leadership election. OK, it's only a few days old, but what do the candidates want to do on productivity? What do they want to do on Boris Johnson's key pledge of levelling up the country, tackling regional imbalances in productivity? What do they want to do on NHS reform, on social care? How are they going to fund these tax cuts? All of those big issues so far have yet to be touched. But there is one thing here that I think actually is very significant, right? We are less than 2 years away from a general election. Okay, now, whoever emerges as the Conservative Party leader this time around, if they can keep those southern prosperous middle-class shires in southern England with those working-class, gritty, industrial northern areas that used to vote for Labour, if they can come up with a way of uniting those two factions, they will almost certainly win that election. And then that, of course, sets the stage for the rest of the 2020s. So this is a fragile moment for the Conservative Party, potentially a highly consequential moment for the Conservative Party. And I can't think of any other time in British political history, actually, when the stakes have been quite so high.